3news.com. I'll read out that story and hopefully we can connect with our reporter on the ground. Judith Brown is our woman on the beat. I'm sure she's quite busy right now navigating that situation. If we can speak to her, we will certainly do so. But the story is as follows. Ghana Immigration Service has conducted a special operation in Kaneshie and Abossey Okai to remove street children and guardians, addressing concerns over growing non-Ghanaian street dwellers and potential exploitation. Now, the Ghana Immigration Service, GIS, early Friday morning, that's this morning, conducted a special operation in Kaneshie and Abossey Okai to remove street children and their accompanying guardians. You see some visuals on our screens if you're watching us on Facebook. Now, the exercise, part of a nationwide initiative, targeted the increasing presence of non-Ghanaian street dwellers, particularly minors, in Accra's major commercial areas. Immigration officers were seen engaging with individuals before escorting them from sidewalks and intersections. Numerous women and children, many believed to be foreign nationals, were rounded up. Officials stated the operation aims to decongest streets, enhance public safety, curb child exploitation, and identify individuals residing in Ghana illegally. The operation follows concerns raised by Dr. Ernestina Teta, convener of the Coalition for Street Connected Children organization. In an interview on City FM on May 8th, Dr. Teta highlighted the growing and potentially organized issue of child streetism, noting an increase in children from neighboring countries such as Chad and Niger. She warned that some might be part of a larger, coordinated network. Statistics are hard to come by. We only know that the numbers are growing by the day. They usually come from Chad, also from Niger. This has been with us since I was a child, what we used to call Salaka. But the issue has become worse than before, she said. Again, full details on 3news.com. Studios, Judith Brown has just joined me. Good morning.
Hi, Helen. Good morning.
How are we doing?
Oh, I'm great. And you?
I'm doing all right. This is just currently underway, or maybe has just ended in certain parts.
Yeah, has just ended.
So this is the Ghana Immigration Service embarking on some mass evacuations. Tell us more.
Okay, so basically I was at the Abossey Okai roundabout, and as you can see, if you're watching on Facebook, a number of immigrants, they have come here, they are undocumented. So basically they're illegal immigrants, and you can see them on the streets on a daily basis. That's begging for alms and all that. So basically most of these people are brought under the pretext of work. Oh, come to Ghana, I'm going to give you work and all that. And then they migrate these people to the country and they exploit them. Most of them are just on the streets begging for alms. Some of them work for them, and you can see a lot of them women with so many children. You even wonder whether these children are all for them. Yes. So most of them are really going through harsh conditions. They have no place to sleep. You see them sleeping under bridges. If you go to Circle, you see a lot of them that sleep there on the pavement blocks and all that. So these are the kind of conditions most of them are going through. And so what the Ghana Immigration Service is trying to do is to evacuate these people back to their country. And so they brought them from various parts of Accra this morning. They went to Nima, and of course, Obechebi as well. Other parts of Accra where you find most of them sleeping on the streets. And then they picked them up and then brought them to Abossey roundabout, where they bust them and sent them to the headquarters. That's the Ghana Immigration Headquarters, for them to be processed, to be sent back to their countries. And so that's basically what's been happening this morning.
Do we have any insight into how they actually get into into the country, how they're able to cross the borders?
That's one question we're trying to pose to the PRO. Of course, currently the men on the ground from the Immigration Service are not allowed to speak on record to us, and so we're meaning to speak to the PRO of the unit and then see really, because I mean, many of them have made the claim, and if you were there, we spoke to some of the people on the ground. That's the Ghanaians that were around watching the scene, and some of them from Zongo, Nima. They tell us that they come with so-called allergies, and of course, you'd begs the question as to really who is bringing them, how are they entering the country, because it's through the same immigration service that they should be able to enter the country. So really, is the problem the people bringing them, or the problem is the Ghana Immigration Service? That's also another question we would have to be posing to the PRO of the Immigration Service. But of course, when we get answers, we'll definitely share that.
We're attempting to actually speak with the PRO from the GIS, and of course, once we're able to connect, we'll bring you that. If you could put a figure or a number to the individuals that you spotted, can you even count about how many people
Look,
would you say?
It's uncountable. The bus, the long bus that came to pick them, so you can imagine a bus like an Ayalolo bus came to pick them to the headquarters, and that bus had gone around 15 times. So they fill the bus, they send them, the bus comes back, send them. So even some said over 20 times the bus has gone and come, and they came around 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning. Yes, it fills up. Yeah, they fill up the bus. So it seems that at least over 1,000 of them have been sent to the headquarters and will be processed to be sent back to their countries. Well, some people also say they're actually happy, because if they're being exploited, they came under the pretext of work, and now they're going to be able to see their families again in their respective countries. Most of them might actually be happy. For them, some of them you see crying. I believe it's because they don't really know what's happening. Most of them don't even understand the language.
Right.
They can't speak English. They can't speak Chi. They can't even communicate, and so it's difficult for some of them to even understand really what's going on. But I'm sure that when they get to the immigration service, they have that briefing and know that, of course, they're going back to their countries. Yeah.
Now, is there any indication that this exercise is maybe a one-day wonder, or did you get the sense that this is an effort that's going to span across the country, not just in the capital, and also for how long it's going to go on for? Any intel on that?
Right. And so I was speaking to one of the men from the immigration service. He seemed to be their leader at the time. He didn't want to speak on record, but he was telling me that after today, they're not really going to do this again. Today, they've gone to so many parts, and so he believes that this is the end. He didn't really tell me whether or not they would continue. I asked if it will happen tomorrow. He said he doesn't believe so. So I'm sure he's also getting some, how do I call it, a directive from his bosses. If they decide tomorrow they're going to continue the exercise, probably we'll see them on the streets again.
Because we've seen this before, some efforts to clear underpasses, bridges, roads of what we assume are illegal migrants. But as you've heard from Judith Brown, 20 times this bus came and went. That means that our efforts the last time were not that sustainable. So it's intriguing to hear that this might just be a one-day operation, but I'm sure we'll be getting further and better particulars as the day progresses. Interesting scenes there. If you're watching on Facebook, you'll get a picture of how that went down. Did you see anybody maybe trying to escape when they heard the sirens or saw the
this point was the point where they had brought them from different parts, and then that was like the point where they are sent away. So we didn't really see the rushing and all of that.
Okay.
But we saw one pregnant woman. She had a child as well. She didn't seem to be in a very good state, and so the ambulance was also brought. But later on, the bus itself came and then took all of them away. So they kept her in their car while they handled the others, but they didn't seem to be struggling. Most of them were just calmly walking. So then maybe they're actually happy that they are going to see their families again. But I mean, some Ghanaians there also made the point that although this is happening, it's a good effort. They are not sure whether this is sustainable enough, because I mean, as you said, this has happened time and again, and yet we are still seeing them, even in larger numbers, in the capital city of Accra. And so really, are they going to return? That's another question to ask. And how are they going to enter? Another question to pose to the immigration service.
According to 3news.com, that story I just read out before Judy came in talks about these migrants coming from Chad and Niger. Was there any more information about the country of origin? Is it Chad and Niger, or do we know more? Are they also coming from different parts of Africa?
Well, we haven't been told where exactly they're coming from. That's why we'll try and reach out to the PRA. I'm sure even now they are going to, as they've been sent to the headquarters, they are now going to really interrogate as to where exactly they're coming from and then process them for their countries. But I'm pretty sure that really they're coming from those two countries, because that's really the two countries that most of these people migrate from most of the time. So it's highly possible that those are the two countries that most of them are coming from.
Well, certainly, if there is more, we'll bring that to you. Judith Brown, our woman on the beats. What's the plan for the weekend, Judy?
Work.
Work.
You know I work on the weekends.
It's always about work. Team no sleep.
Team no sleep.
All right. Have a